dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, Chris edition. Actually, I'm solo in the studio today. Jason's out recreating and having a good time. Actually, I'm recording this the day after Christmas. I hope everybody had a wonderful and healthy and safe Christmas with their families and friends, and that it was enjoyable. So I know mine was. I talked to Jason yesterday afternoon, and he was having a great day with his family, extended family. So hopefully the same was for all of our faithful listeners out there. Now, as we mentioned in our previous episode, what was it, episode 136, I think, we talked about taking a little time off during the holidays, and we're going to play a rerun. First time we've ever done that, a rerun of an episode that we did in our first year doing the podcast, but it's still incredibly relevant. It's episode 34, which I'm going to re-edit a little bit here and make it happen here for this. I'm not going to number this episode, but how to attend King of the Hammers like a seasoned pro, and it's relevant because King of the Hammers is right around the corner. It's going to be the first week of February, when everybody's going to descend on the desert down there outside of Barstow in Johnson Valley for an epic week of racing, off-road racing, and of course, which culminates with the ultimate race, the hardest one-day off-road race in the world, which is the 4400 race, which is on Saturday, the end of the week. So hopefully we'll see a lot of our listeners and friends out there in the desert. So in the meantime, I'm going to play this thing, and I'd also like to take this opportunity from Jason and myself, and of course super producer Lorenzo, to wish everybody a very safe and sane and happy and fun new year, and we'll see you everybody on the other side in 2022. So let's enjoy this episode. Thank you. Talk to you later.
Welcome to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, episode 34. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
This is 2020.
Jason here, Chris sitting across from me in the studio. Chris, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Jason. How you doing?
Holy crap. Can you imagine? 34 episodes.
Not only is it 34 episodes, it's the new year, new decade, and I mean, it's all good from here, man.
We're all downhill. I don't know. Just kind of looking back, 33 episodes in 2019.
Yeah,
that's pretty damn good. That was better than we thought we'd do. We were striving for one a week, and we did that.
We did,
and some.
It's
threw in a little bonus episode in there.
Bonus episodes. We had some interviews. We had some I tell you,
some great interviews.
And a steep learning curve.
Yes, there was, and we're still learning, and we'll continue to learn. And we're learning that Lorenzo, for 2020, is turning over a new leaf.
What, he's an AA?
No, he already tried that. It didn't work out so well. But he's better. He thinned down. Look, he thinned down over the holidays.
Well, yeah. I mean, you
no, but most people bulk up. I know I ate a shit ton over the holidays.
Well, you left him at home with no food, no alcohol.
In a cage. He's still pissed at me. He won't even look at me anymore. Sorry, Lorenzo. Sorry, not sorry.
Donkeys Anonymous is going to get after us here pretty quick.
Donkeys, not. You want to go down that road? Okay. Well, so Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.
If you're still listening to us after 33 episodes, God bless you. I do question your intelligence, but we do thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah.
It has been a great ride. We have some exciting things planned for 2020.
Yes, we do.
And beginning off 2020 here, KOH, which we're going to get into here shortly. If you've never been, if you've been before, whatever, we have compiled a list that is pretty thorough, I would say.
Yeah.
To prepare for the shit show that's about to happen down in the California desert.
How many days? It'll be like 20.
By the time this episode comes out, you're 20 days away.
24 days.
Yeah, 24 days away.
24 days.
I'm nowhere near ready.
So,
nowhere near.
Yeah, it's a little tease. We'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, there's a lot to do, and the teams are wrenching like maniacs to put their shit together.
Oh my god!
I couldn't even imagine being a driver or a team owner right now, just trying to figure this shit out.
No,
it'd be man.
No, just me getting my camper ready and the buggy and stuff, and getting enough donkey food here for Lorenzo is taxing enough.
Absolutely. So, but before we get into all that, how was your holiday? What were you up to?
Well, thanks for asking. It was mighty fine.
Mighty fine.
Mighty fine.
Yeah?
It was a nice holiday. It was weird this year with both Christmas and New Year's falling on a Wednesday. So that really, I don't want to say screwed things up, but it was weird. It is, people are like, I worked Monday, Tuesday, and then I took Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off.
Kind of made like the week had 2 Mondays.
It did. It was weird, but made it work. I spent a lot of time with family up in Tahoe, which was awesome. Lots of snow up there right now.
Okay,
skiing was great, and until everybody decided to go up after New Year's, it was ridiculously crowded.
That's typical, man.
But I've got my routine down. I get there early. I get a few runs in, and then when it starts getting busy in the lift lines, I was in a lift line for 18 minutes. I timed it.
Holy crap, that's like Disneyland.
18 minutes on a 6-pack chair.
What?
High-speed 6-pack chair. Yeah.
Wow.
Shit ton of skiers.
I don't know how that's even possible.
It was it was crazy, and that's when we got off the chairlift, we went to the lodge and had a cocktail, and had another cocktail, and then had lunch, and waited for everybody to leave, and then from 2 to 4, we had the mountain to ourselves again.
Yeah,
but anyways, that's part of navigating the holiday deal up in Tahoe, and then driving home was a show yesterday, trying to get to the snail trail event, which we'll talk about here briefly too. But anyways, great time, and I will briefly. I'm gonna do a little tease. But when I was up in Truckee there, I met the master distiller at Old Trestle Distillery, which opened up in 2018, but they don't have a tasting room open to the public.
Right.
Appointment only. You can find them online, Old Trestle Distillery. And right now, they've only got 3 bottles available, and you can't even purchase. You got to go through a vendor or something.
Really?
But yeah, there's 2 different gins, and I am not a gin guy.
Right.
But I always go into any tasting, wine, whiskey, whatever you got. I will try it, except for Fireball or any cinnamon-esque.
I have had it, and I don't have it no more.
Any cinnamon-esque drink. But I liked both the gins. And,
really?
And yeah, so it's called Theory Gin and Theory 1, their first gin. Very light on the juniper. That's what turns me off.
Yeah.
I don't mind a little bit.
I like to
but a lot, the real floral juniper gins, no.
Yeah.
And it was a little on the sweet side, just a hint.
Really?
Really good. And I was like, wow. And then the next one, the Theory 2 gin, had, it was off color. I mean, it was had a little yellow tint to it. Just a hint. Oh. Very light.
So it wasn't clear.
It was not clear. And I go, whoa, wait a minute. What's going on here? He goes, taste it, and then I'll tell you. And so I tasted it, and I go, wow, that is good. Yeah. Interesting. And he's got Chinese 5-spice in there, all this stuff. Really? He finishes it with black tea.
Yeah.
So that gave it a little color.
Yeah.
Not only that, but flavor. And, I mean, this guy, his name's Jake. I'm going to butcher his last name. If I know it starts with an H. And we're going to do an interview. He agreed to do an interview with us.
So you weren't able to purchase any of the spirits?
I did not purchase anything. They are available in some of the, in 50/50 Brewing, the pub at Donner Lake.
Okay.
Jake and I hit it off. His last name is Holshua.
Oh, God.
Holshua. Jake Horseshoe.
Sorry.
Oh, God. Just butcher. I am so bad with names. Jake was badass. I spent 3 hours with him.
Cool.
I took 12 pages of notes.
Really?
He dropped so much knowledge on me. And so we'll get more into that detail in the next podcast. But, and the vodka. Sierra vodka they have, and that vodka was really good. You know that vodka I got from Dry Diggings? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Diamond Springs vodka.
Yeah.
That's kind of got a little sweetness to it,
Sure.
and flavorful, because most vodkas are pretty bland. Yeah. And that Dry Diggings vodka, the Diamond Springs, and then this Old Trestle Sierra vodka, both you could just pour over ice and drink and be totally happy.
And I like doing that.
I do too.
So yeah,
yes.
Perfect. Iced vodka,
wheeling,
sweet.
wine, and whiskey and vodka.
Sweet.
Maybe we'll have to start another podcast. Vines, vodka, and vaping.
No, that's going to become illegal here pretty quick.
It's good.
So,
I don't do that.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, really cool. So look forward to an interview with Jake, master distiller at Old Trestle Distillery in Truckee, California. The guy is badass and dropped a shit ton of knowledge on me.
Not to
and
be
it was
confused
cool.
with Jake from State Farm.
That's exactly.
Okay.
He's cool too.
He is cool.
He is cool too.
He wears khaki pants.
He does. So, anyways, how was your Christmas, holiday, New Year's celebration in your family there, Chris?
Compared to yours, it was pretty boring. I mean, I spent the Christmas Day with my family and, my immediate family. And just,
well, that's good.
It was great. We opened presents in the morning and had a nice meal. And I cooked we had a prime rib.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Christmas Day?
Yeah, Christmas Day.
Yeah, so did we.
Gotta love a prime rib.
We
great
smoked it in
rib.
a Traeger.
Nice.
Yeah. It was that was actually kind of a funny story. I don't want to jump in on your deal.
No, let me just finish up. So Christmas was good. It was, nice to see my kids. Kevin or Craig, who doesn't live at home anymore, came for the day. And
did he gift you any more Weller or anything?
no Weller.
Did you guys kill the Weller bottle?
There might be a couple splashes in there still.
Good.
It's living,
Good.
but I might need to replenish that here pretty quick.
Did anybody else get you old elk for Christmas?
I have a lot of old elk in the house now.
Lorenzo and I are still waiting for our Christmas gifts, aren't we, Lorenzo? Chris didn't get us shit.
Well, Lorenzo,
I don't think he likes us.
He drank everything when I
is
brought
that
it
what
over
happened?
while you were gone.
Oh, is that what happened?
Didn't you see the shredded paper
you?
on the floor? He might have been sleeping in it as a nest too. I don't know.
Made some bedding out of it.
But no, Christmas was good. I mean, it's just very nice, casual, nice family time for me. And I didn't. It's actually the one day of the year where the golf course that I work at is completely shut down, cold. There's nothing going on.
And New Year's Day.
No, they're open on New Year's Day.
Oh my gosh!
But Christmas is the one day that there's no. I mean, I literally we lock the door, we shut the gates, and nobody goes in.
So
the whole
364 days a year, you're open.
Exactly. Well, 364 days a year, somebody's on property.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So that was a nice treat, and I did take a few days off afterwards. So Wednesday was Christmas Day, and then I took Thursday, Friday, Saturday off, and then went back to the grind on Sunday morning. And then worked a couple of days, and then New Year's, which, sad to say, Mr. Boring here, I was actually, I think I was asleep by 10. I was in my recliner in my living room, but I was asleep.
Wow. Wow.
It's just, there's just, you hear about all the shenanigans that go on at New Year's, and I've done it. Believe me, don't get me wrong. I've lived the life. I've gone out to nightclubs. I've done the stupidity.
You were somebody in your leisure suit.
Los Gatos, and before I was married, and doing the stupid shit at Mountain Charlie's and having a great time.
Good old Mountain Charlie's
oh
not there
God.
Anymore.
It's not?
Nope.
Oh boy.
I think it's gone. No, wait a minute. What's the other? No, you know what? Maybe Mountain Charlie's there. Sorry,
that's like an institute, man.
I know.
Institution. Anyway, I don't have any regrets for being boring on New Year's because you hear the stories the next morning about this person or that person or this group being arrested for DUI or somebody dying or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
I prefer just to be at home, honestly.
It's a little loco out there.
So yeah, low key, but it was good. So what was your
New Year's? We had fireworks at Tahoe Donner. They had them at North Star, but we were at Tahoe Donner, and they put on a hell of a show. I was pleasantly surprised at their show. Really good. So, the prime rib story.
Oh, yeah, let's have it.
So traditionally, we have, Italian family, we have lasagna on Christmas
Love
Eve.
lasagna.
And my aunt makes the best lasagna. It is incredible.
I'm like Garfield.
Yeah, Garfield. That's right, Garfield. We loved lasagna. So, and then Christmas Day, we traditionally have Antipasto's raviolis, the local Italian deli right down the street from us. Best raviolis ever.
I agree.
Yeah. So, so we were going over to my aunt's house for New Year's Eve, and we spend the night, and then Christmas Day, we normally come back over to San Jose, but we decided to stay over this year. Logistically, it just worked better for everybody, and I left the raviolis in the freezer.
So logistically, that's what.
So that means the raviolis were in San Jose, and I was an hour away
in Capitola.
Yeah, and so I realized that about half an hour after my arrival on Christmas Eve. Just poured my first glass of wine, easing into the evening, and I go, crap.
Was that 2 Buck Chuck?
No, it was
close to boys.
No, it wasn't that either. We what did we open first thing that night? It was a oh my god, I drank so much wine over the last 2 weeks. I did. It was ridiculously good.
It's always good.
Oh, it was a Vincent Arroyo Petite Syrah. I mean, starting out with a crazy big wine, because that's like end of the night wine, because that's just like
right? Petite
huge.
Syrah, it's like
it makes a cab look
pow.
like yeah. Well, anyways, that's where we started, and it was damn good.
Cool.
But back to the Christmas dinner saga. So my cousin goes, "Hey, we got this. Let's go down to the local market, small market.
Uh-huh.
It's not a Safeway or anything like that. It's a local market,
a little mom and pop shop.
Exactly. So we go to their meat counter, and what do you got?
What do you got?
You got prime rib? Why, yes, we do. How many people you got? 10? All right, I recommend, at least a 3-4 bone. Give us 5 bones of prime rib. Beautifully. I mean, it had some nice marbling in it.
Is it seasoned at all, or is it
Nope.
bare? No rub, no nothing?
Nope.
Wow.
Creekstone, high-end,
Nice.
prime rib.
Jason money.
No. It was Jason credit card money, which I am not looking forward to my credit card bill coming up, because that was way more expensive than raviolis. Let me just say that.
Well,
but
Costco prime rib is,
And then we went and got some fresh horse. So we walk into the store, and there's quite a few people in there, because obviously we weren't the only ones
that forgot
picking up that forgot stuff. So there was, they had 15 minutes left. Hey, 15 minutes, store's closing. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So we were on it. We got the prime rib, we got fresh horseradish, and some Yukon Gold potatoes to make some killer mashed potatoes. Mm-hmm. And we already had vegetables and stuff at the house, and garlic bread and all that other stuff.
Green stuff?
Yeah, I know, but So
I guess.
Yeah, it was a the $200 and some change later. I walk out of the store, but my cousin has a Traeger, and we fired that baby up on Christmas morning.
Oh yeah,
and we're out there, drinking beer at 6 a.m. and putting the prime rib on, and
that's the wood pellet.
Yeah,
Feed-O-Matic thing, right?
I'm glad I was keeping an eye on it, because the pellets actually bridged in the container. It's got this box on the side with an auger that feeds it in.
Yeah.
It's all thermostat controlled, so it's really cool. But the pellets bridge, so essentially there was plenty of pellets in it, but it ran out of pellets. It wasn't feeding them anymore.
Okay.
And I watched the temperature drop, and I'm like, uh-oh, and then shook the box, and then everything fired back up again. But
so what's the cook time on that?
We did about 6 hours on this bad boy.
Man.
Yeah. I got the internal temp right in that 125, 130 range, so it was rare.
Yes, sir.
And then, so the idea was, all the men folk were wanting, rare, little medium rare.
Yeah.
Esque, and then of course the women wanted freaking, well done.
Get the end cap.
Yeah. So we cut it up, and then I we had the cast iron skillets, so anything that was more on the rare side, we just did a quick little sear. Perfect.
Sweet.
Yeah. Anyways, there was that, but that reminded me. Yeah, it was a pleasant mishap. Let's say.
Right. No
pleasant
doubt.
Mishap.
That's one of the side effects, I guess, of having a small gathering, at least at my house for the holidays, was leftovers. So, having prime rib leftovers. What did I do with all the prime rib leftovers? I mean, we had Sandos. We had one of the things I made. We had, of course, just regular prime rib leftovers the next night. But then I made prime rib breakfast burritos.
Oh my gosh. Nice.
So freaking good. It was. I think I had like 12 of them, and I was just we ate a few, and then I started just wrapping them and putting them in wrapping up and putting them in the freezer. So
do you have some left frozen?
No, they're all gone now.
Oh, I was going to say that'd be great down at KOH to put manifold prime rib burrito.
Maybe I'll do it.
I think you should.
I got at least 3 weeks of prep here. So.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite things is leftovers. So perfect.
Good holidays.
Yeah, it was great.
Here we are, 2020, new decade.
Back to the grind.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't a grind. Doing the podcast is actually a lot of fun and a stress relief for us.
So before we get into KOH prep,
yes, sir.
I think we attended an event yesterday.
Did we? Oh yeah, I drove up to.
And your Jeep actually exited the garage.
Yes, it did.
And made it all the way up to Rancho Cordova, California.
On the freeway.
I
drove it. It wasn't a trailer queen.
And let's hear about your experience driving it, because I talked to you shortly after you arrived. I was coming down Highway 80 from Tahoe and hit a shit ton of traffic.
Right. Well, I saw somebody tried calling me. I mean, I had the phone on the dash, and I said, calls coming in, and I'm like,
I can't answer.
I'm not answering this because there's no chance of me being able to have a conversation.
So you called me as soon as you got to the parking lot,
right? So,
and you were angry Barbie Jeep Chris.
Well, not angry. I just more than anything is just relieved that I was finally there so I could relax. Because anybody that's got a vehicle that's been pretty heavily modified, this is not a vehicle you want to drive on the freeway anymore. It just isn't. And maybe it's because I'm getting old and grumpy, but
definitely.
Let's step back. When you know you have a trailer and a tow rig sitting at home, and you did this, I did it on my own. I made this decision. I did it.
It was a conscious decision, but I will say, I called you and you go, I am never driving my Jeep on the highway that far again. This is why I have a trailer. My Jeep is a trailer queen.
Exactly.
And I had like a bunch of stuff to talk to you about, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to let you go into the brewery and have a beer and settle down, because now's not the time. You were not in the good zone.
So when I first left town, the Jeep, I mean, it gets driven around town occasionally, but never it hasn't been at 65 miles per hour on the freeway in I don't know how long. So I'm going up the Altamont Pass. Now this thing drives great. I mean, it has power.
Yeah.
I mean, it's geared right for the size tires. No problem climbing the Altamont, but it's like, it hasn't been on the freeway. It hasn't been driven like this and warmed up like this in quite a while. So it's like,
sure.
There's a flat spot on my tires. And I'm like, holy crap, this thing's just shaking like a son of a gun. So by the time I got to Tracy, everything had smoothed out. About, it's like, 30 minutes. The tires are warmed up and the flat spot's gone. I can hear my music through my earplugs, and I'm fine, whatever. So it's good, but I got there. It was a great event. Absolutely great event. I was one of the early birds.
How many people would you say were there? At least 125.
Definitely more than 100.
More than 100, less than 200.
Yeah, around 150. I don't know. I didn't count heads.
I think 150 would be. You wouldn't be exaggerating.
Great turnout.
Really good turnout. So if you listened to us as well and you were there, we met a lot of people We saw some of our people we've met before, fans before, which was great. We were able to hand out a bunch of stickers
We actually
and cards.
had stuff. It was great.
Yeah. So hopefully next time we'll have some nice shirts and stuff wares there. But the parking lot was loaded with a wide variety of vehicles.
A lot of Jeeps.
There's a lot of Jeeps, which was a pleasant surprise.
There was, I wandered around. There were definitely Yodas. There was some Jeeps. There was an Excursion.
Yeah. there was a Unimog.
There was a Unimog
with a camper.
That was cool. I didn't get a chance to check that
guy,
thing out.
I didn't catch his name, but he had a Grass Valley four-wheelers jacket on.
Did he? Okay.
And I gave him a sticker.
Oh, cool.
He asked for a sticker.
Well,
so
you
I
better
gave him one.
slap that on the side of the
If you listen to our
Unimog.
podcast now, text me or hit us up on Instagram with your name and give you a shout out on your Unimog. That thing was badass.
And we have another friend that's in our club that has a Unimog also. His name's Rick. And I don't know if you probably know him already.
Yeah, I know Rick.
No, the guy that we're talking to that hopefully listens to.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I know Rick.
I know Rick. Hey, Rick, how you doing? If you're listening.
Yep. So anyway.
It was cool, and then there was a nice tube buggy there, even though it had Toyota running gear.
Yeah.
Hustle Nuts. That he's on Instagram there, and Jimmy.
He's a nice guy.
Really nice guy. Met him and his girlfriend, and
Danielle.
That was the first time that I had seen his rig in person.
Oh, okay.
And he had a Wheeling Wine and Whiskey sticker on there that I gave him a few weeks ago.
He was representing.
Yeah, and dude. That thing's badass, and I told him at the end of the event, I go, dude, that is a really well-built buggy, even though it's got Toyota running gear and no V8, but that is a badass.
But it's bare. It's bare. It has heated seats. It's bare bones. It's got the 22 RE, 40s.
It's nice. It's perfect.
And that slide out.
The
toolbox in the back. That was wicked cool, man.
But there was a lot of details. I mean, I wanted to spend more time looking at it, but some guy came over with a highfalutin video camera and said, "Hey, can we do a rig walk around?" And I was going to pull a Tyler and photobomb the whole thing, video bomb it, but I stepped aside and let them do their thing. But I definitely want to go wheeling with him and see that thing out on the trail because it was pretty badass.
Oh yeah, no, you'll definitely.
There was a Jeep there that had it had to be a wrap, that pink.
It was like
foil.
It's like
a
very
pink
shiny.
Foil,
Yeah,
very shiny.
Yeah, it was almost purple or something.
Yeah, it was pink.
It was. I don't know what that was all about. Did you talk to the owner of that?
I did not, but I saw it and then I saw it drive out, and I'm like, wow, that's an attention getter there.
Yeah, that's exactly.
You better be able to wheel if you got. That thing's crazy. And then, anyways, a lot of cool rigs, a lot of cool people. I thought Jimmy and Tyler did a great job. They had their snail trail apparel out there for sale. They had a ton of raffle prizes for people that were there. Their online raffle, I think, ended today.
Probably, I think.
They'll announce that on their deal. They got a ton of prizes. They've been working hard at it. And then there was a lot of cool people there. You talked to a few people.
I talked to a lot of people. Some people we'd already met before, some new people. We met the guy from Kansas City.
Oh, my gosh. Tyson. Tyson. So from Kansas City, he flew all the way out.
Yeah, how cool
from
is
Kansas
that?
City. He's a airplane mechanic, so he's super meticulous. I talked to him on Instagram, and then so I had to meet him in person. Met him, super cool guy. He was showing me pictures of his trucks and stuff he built in the past. He's into the lower truck scene.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but some badass craftsmanship on those things. And he does have old Ford pickup that he wants to restore. And he was saying, I don't know if I'm going to slam it or I'm going to four-wheel drive, And I go, you got to go with a four-wheel drive. And he goes, yeah, I think so. So anyways, it was cool. And, man, Jimmy let him stay at his house. And, this guy just flew out and came out for the event. That's pretty freaking incredible.
That's awesome.
And,
that's
super cool guy.
Dedication, yeah.
Yeah, so that was cool. Jimmy had a lot of people staying at his house. Georgia Boy and
his wife.
And his wife, Alicia, stayed at the house, camped out in the front yard.
Yep.
And provided some meals for him, I guess. Breakfast and pizzas last night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see, who else did we meet?
Saw Debbie.
We did see Debbie that we met
and
on
her daughter.
Blue Lakes.
Yeah.
That she passed us up once she saw Tyler. When, you know,
Yeah, but she came
we were
running
chopped
over
liver.
to me and
But
talked to me
But
yesterday.
she did, and I apologize, Debbie. I was deep in a conversation with Sue Bunn, Mama Bunn.
Yep.
Who lives up in Placerville, right up the road there, and she was on Truck Night of America in 2018, the second season, and unfortunately the final season. I guess the show got so expensive to produce, but it was pretty cool. So I talked to her for a while, and we're going to get her on the show. She said she would be happy to be on the show. Want to talk to? They got a new adventure this year.
I know they were. She was talking about that quite a bit.
Yeah, so they're going to start up this. Well, they have started up this year.
Guiding.
Taking people out on the Rubicon, out on Fordyce, out on Slick Rock, wherever you want to go. They'll take you there, and it's a very cool deal. So I told her, I said, hey, I want to go four-wheeling with you this year.
She can guide you.
Fine, guide me. I could use all the guidance I could get.
There's times I'll be like, you're really going to do that? You're really?
Really? You really going to take that line on Windshield 3?
Mission control.
So, anyways, but very cool talking with her, and met her husband, who's very talented, putting those trucks together.
Yeah.
And I don't think his truck was there.
No, I think they all drove down her.
Yeah, but her 4Runner's badass. I was looking at that and took some photos of that.
I didn't get close to it, but
Yeah.
I mean, I should have, honestly. But I mean, it was a great event. Got to meet and talk to a lot of different people. Handed out a lot of stickers, a lot of business cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. Debbie and her daughter, I think Katie.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was cool. Shout out to you guys. It was very awesome.
Right on, yeah.
to
So
see
anybody we
again.
talked to, it was great. We saw Beer Andy. I call him Beer Can Andy, but it's Beer Andy.
Beer Andy,
and Joe, and a lot of great people. I mean, it was a cool event. I wish we had more time.
Yeah, right.
Because there was a lot of people, and I was trying to make my way around and introduce myself and talk to people, but man, there was just...
Well, it seemed like it just flew by. You know, you get there, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're doing the raffle now.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, really? It's 3:30 already? What happened? You know, and it's
And
like,
I only
damn.
had 2 beers.
We only had 2. Well, that was good. I mean,
Yeah.
So, and the beer was good.
Beer was
let's talk
great.
about the beer. So that's a kind of a little back up a little bit.
go ahead.
So we had the brown ale, the first
Yes.
one,
Yes.
and then the second one was their Pilsner. Both very, very good. The brown ale I thought was exceptional. The Pilsner, you know, it was ordinary, but it was good. It tasted
Right.
good. What the best part of this whole deal is I guess from 2:00 to 5:00, all the sales of beer at the brewery were
Correct.
being donated 5%. 5%? I think it was 5%.
5%.
5% of all beer sales were being donated to Corva.
Right, which is what?
Huge.
What is
the California
Corva?
Off-Road Vehicle Association.
Wow, you said that pretty fast.
California Off-Road Vehicle Association.
Correct. So they fight the good fight for us.
Absolutely.
And that was awesome. And Amy was there, the representative for Corva, so that was cool. And I hope they got a good check. In fact, the owner, I don't know if it was co-owner or he's the sole owner of Fort Rock.
I don't know.
I talked to him on the way out because I was talking to Jimmy, and then he came up and talked to Jimmy, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll cut you guys a check. We'll get all the accounting done and figure this out for you." So
Sweet.
And I shook his hand and I go, "Hey, first of all, great beer. Second of all, thank you for donating." So that's very cool.
And the place was busy. It was like a good turnout. It seemed like a lot of people were
Everybody was having a good time.
Absolutely. So cool, good time.
Oh, and Mike was there too. Mike Torano.
Oh, yeah.
He hangs out with Beer Andy,
With
Beer Can Andy.
Yeah. We talked to him quite a bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that was cool. But now there was somebody else there that you missed. You left.
Oh, who did I miss?
And there was somebody that was attending that we were supposed to see that came at the very, the bitter end. Most people were gone
So after I left?
after you left.
Well, I mean, I had to drive home. But
I understand.
So who did I miss out on?
Sherpa.
Oh, shit. Really?
Oh, shit.
Really? Sherpa? Really?
Dude. So I didn't know. I've never met this guy.
I thought you were in Florida, dude.
He was supposed to be there. I knew he was supposed to be there.
Uh-huh.
I thought you knew he was supposed
No,
to be there.
I didn't know.
So literally, we were towards the end of the event, and I'm like, kind of going through of who I wanted to talk to or whatever, and I'm like, Sherpa, where the hell was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't meet him. Oh, well, fine. So we're literally like loading up trucks, getting ready to go, and walking out of the brewery, and Sherpa shows up.
Really?
And he like gives a hug to Jimmy and Tyler, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Wow.
And Tyler goes, this is the Sherpa.
Sweet.
And I go, oh my God, I got to shake your hand, So the guy's freaking hilarious. So
we got out for the holidays.
And he had a crazy story to tell about why he wasn't there on time. Apparently, he lost both the front driver's side and front passenger side wheel of, I didn't get the whole story of the rig he was trying. Yeah, pretty damn embarrassing there, Sherpa. I don't know, there's...
Send us an email. We need deets.
We're good, I'm sure. But I told him we enjoy. He writes some of the funniest emails. Yeah. You better have thick skin, which we do. So it's freaking hilarious. But so we got some good pictures with him, and there's this great picture.
I missed it.
I got to post it up on the gram. So he came up with a gang sign for the Snail Boys.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and it was something like this. It was a fist and then like a V for the snail,
We'll have to take a picture.
Oh, no, I got the picture.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I got the picture. Jimmy, Tyler, the Sherpa, and I'm standing in the middle just going like, you guys are idiots. That will be out on the gram, so look for that. I'll post it up. This is going to air on Tuesday, and I will be sure to get that up. I posted awesome. A couple pictures today. Sunday of the event, and
it was a fun time.
Anyways, it was super good.
Good and what was really cool, and another cool thing about that venue, that location, was the parking lot was awesome. It was huge.
It was big, yeah. It was right there by the Cattleman's, right off the freeway, and there was plenty of room. That was good because there was people that had towed. Trailer queens like you and I.
Yeah.
That towed in, but you didn't. You actually drove. People. I took a picture of your rig in the parking lot. Yeah, to prove that you were there.
I didn't even take a picture of my
really.
Rig. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. There was a lot of people that asked, and some people recognized your rig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So that's cool.
Sweet.
Okay, and before one more thing, one final little thing before we go into KOH prep.
What's that?
That Lorenzo is eagerly waiting to hear because he's never been to KOH before.
Let's see him eyeballing that freaking moonshine.
He has no idea what he's getting himself into, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get lost down there.
Well, and we
need to put like a homing beacon on him.
Somebody's going to saddle him up and turn him into a freaking pack mule.
We'll plaster a Wheeling Wine and Whiskey tag. We need to get one of those implants, that they do on the dogs, animals. Yeah, so it's RFID or whatever.
If found, return to these coordinates.
We should say if found, return to Snail Trail 4x4.
There you go.
You could go live with them. You can go live on Jimmy's ranch. That'd be awesome. So
Lorenzo, get away from the moonshine.
Yes, step it on back. We're watching you.
Damn.
Speaking of the Snail Boys, again, here we got them a little gift.
Yes, we did,
and we had a little snafu because we got identical gifts for the Mike and Max's Off-Road podcast.
That's right,
and for the Snail Boys. And the goal was to get them in their hands at the same time, and then they would open them on their podcast and then talk about them.
So it's everybody's surprise.
So Mike has already heard what was in the box because the Snail Boys did it this past Monday. I think Monday, right. Thursday. I don't know. Whenever their latest podcast came out.
Right. I think they were only doing one a week during the holidays.
I can't keep up with them. They do one a week, twice a week, 4 times a week. I mean, I don't know what they're doing over there. They really do. They don't care.
They have no fuss.
I don't think they care. Nice. So anyways. But Mike listened to the podcast, but Max hasn't. So Max is resisting listening to the podcast.
Good. Don't listen, Max. Resist.
We have agreed to exchange the box at KOH because Mike is going to be there at KOH.
Yeah, what's up with Max?
Which is going to be, it's going to be another drunken podcast night in one of our campers. That's coming, right?
It's going to be in a bigger camper because we ain't all going to fit.
Maybe we could use Phil's Taj Mahal or Kobe's Taj Mahal.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. Yeah, we'll put a reserve sign up. Georgia boy, we're going to be calling you, and Phyllis, let us know.
Okay.
Just
Anyway.
low bidder.
Yeah. Low bidder.
This is a grassroots podcast.
It really is. We got zero money. In fact, I still think I owe people money. But anyways, so they it was pretty funny. I just listened to it coming home today. I've wanted to listen to it before going to the event yesterday, but everybody and their brother was calling me on the phone. I was, re-entering back into to reality.
Reality sucks.
It does. It really does.
You need to live in the Matrix. Just stay in the Matrix.
I'm trying so hard, Chris. You don't know how hard I'm trying to live in the Matrix. But anyways, so I listened to it today, and they opened it up, and they had good fun with that. So if you haven't listened to that episode, but we gave them a gift, we put some serious thought into it, and I think we succeeded, Chris.
I agree.
Yeah. So what episode? That was episode 55.
Right.
Episode 55, and it's I don't know, about an hour in, just 45 minutes in when they start talking.
That's a long episode.
Yeah, well, all their episodes are like 2 hours.
Yeah, well, I guess Tyler likes to talk.
He does like to talk, doesn't he?
Because how much did Jimmy talk yesterday?
About that much.
He said hi.
And we were heckling too. We go, and we'd like to hear from your co-host Jimmy. And
Tyler looked at us and just kept going. No.
They gave us a shout out. That was nice.
No, it was awesome.
They did. I thought for their first meet and greet, I'm like, man, you got more than 10 loyal followers there. That's great. So
I think Wheeling Wine and Whiskey got blanked on the raffle.
How many we did? But Kobe won. He won some caliper. What were those? Those were
brakes and
for a Toyota?
Pads, brake rotors and pads for a Toyota.
But he can't exchange them for a Jeep, so that's cool.
Can he?
Yeah,
Wow.
no, he could.
Okay.
I heard him say that. But anyways,
big news.
I
have my Morphlate.
Oh my God, that's right. So have you used it yet?
Not yet, no.
I thought you were going to air down the parking lot and air up just to say that you used it.
Yeah, it would have taken a while.
So a little backstory on that. This is perfect segue. So I had just gotten off the phone with you. That you had got there and you were angry Barbie Jeep Chris. Yeah, keep moving your mic around and shit. Make as much noise as you can over there.
Well, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We're going to have to upgrade.
This isn't your first podcast. This is episode 34. You should have this dialed in by now.
We're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Cheers.
There you go. That's fine. I don't mind that noise. A little bourbon ice ball rattling around. So I just got off the phone with you.
Yeah.
And it was a very short conversation because you were angry, and I'm like, okay, I'll let you ease too. And you had made a comment that you were going to shank Kobe if he didn't bring. Yeah. Well, I won't go into the full detail. You were going to cut something off of him that dangles down.
Yeah.
And so I go, I immediately called Kobe, and Alicia answered the phone, his wife. And I go, hey, how's it going? She goes, hey, da, da. I go, please answer this question seriously, and please tell me that you brought Chris's Morphlate. She says, yeah, we have it. And I could hear Kobe in the background, and he goes, yeah, I'm gonna screw with Chris a little bit. I'm gonna listen to me closely. Do not screw with Chris. Do not make a scene. Hand him the Morphlate and step away.
Yeah.
And that's what he did, apparently.
That he did. Good job, Kobe. Thank you.
It only took like 4 months.
Yeah, something like that. But,
so
it's good. I'm thrilled. I want to try it out, and then I want to talk about it.
Yeah, so. and then you got the brand new Morphlate bag, the round bag.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a cool bag. It's sitting in the Jeep. I just threw it in there, but I need to put the Morphlate in there, and I think it's gonna, because it's like putting a round peg in a square hole in the other bag. So now he's got a round bag for the round hoses.
Well, there you go.
So
it's evolving.
It is. It's a very cool product. We will talk more about it. But thank you, Tyler. I've had mine for a while, and it's dirty and well used, and it works great. I've used it on my Jeep, buggy, truck, and trailer.
That's right. I remember
it's great for equalizing pressure on the trailer tires, which is, I think, the most important.
You used it on your F-350 when you unloaded your camper at Meadow Lake.
Yep.
So what do you do?
Yeah, to air down.
Airing down. That makes sense.
Yeah. Air down.
You
for
said
what?
It was a much smoother drive going out.
Hell yeah.
So
So anyways, so now you got yours. So now you get to experience it. And once you get comfortable with it, then we will talk more about it. Because I actually have some data that I want to share about the Morphlate. But that's a future podcast.
Well, now I need to... if I find time, now that we're getting ready for KOH, which we're going to segue into here shortly, I need to get my ARB dual mounted in the Jeep so I can take full advantage of that thing.
I thought you had that mounted.
Dude, I have.
Oh my God.
Working on fabbing up the bracket, and that's as far as I got. So
you're about as lazy as Lorenzo.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Okay. Whatever. Anyway. Bite me.
All right. Without further ado, let's get on to our topic at hand.
Yes, sir.
We can't call it the campfire topic because some other podcast stole that
Yeah,
from
they
us.
took it away.
Main topic. What did Mike and Max call their main topic?
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
Oh.
No, that's for the lady to what?
So there might be a copyright thing going on there. So
Uh-oh.
I was listening to a podcast today, a different podcast, and they were talking about safe cracking. And there's a safe cracking, lock picking industry.
Yeah.
Locksmiths.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that has a newsletter. And it's called Just the Tip.
Oh.
So I don't know. I laughed. I was like, ah. Anyway.
I know the when we went down to Fremont Street there in Las Vegas, and we went up to one of those outside bars, and they had the big tip jar, and it said just the tip.
Right.
And Mike was right there. That was hilarious.
Oh, that was great.
Anyways, all right, KOH. KOH.
What does that stand for?
King of the Hammers.
Sweet.
It stands for debauchery, drunkenness, crazy ass time is what that stands for. It is. If you haven't been, this will be a good tutorial for you. If you have been, I think we have some things that you may have not thought of. Most of this you probably have.
Right.
Especially if you've been there more than once. And of course, if you have anything to add, we'd love to hear from you. And you could look at, he's still playing with his mic down. He has no clue what's going on.
I'm sorry.
I am in search of a new co-host for Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. So if anybody wants to apply, you can apply at Jason
Lorenzo,
at
step
Wheeling
away.
Wine and Whiskey. All right. So let's get into this. You are dry camping at KOH.
What's that mean?
That means no water, no services,
No hookups.
no hookups, no nothing.
No cable TV?
And if you think, and you can bring a tent, but you better have some friends with RVs that you can stick your tent in between to keep it
Right.
from blowing across the desert. Because what did they say, Chris? And it's so true because we've seen it.
If you've not seen a tent with a cooler, sleeping bag, and all your accoutrement blowing across the desert floor in 50-mile-an-hour winds, you haven't lived.
You haven't lived. So it is true. We have, and there's nothing. It's the desert. And there are some firm areas to put some stakes in, but they're not a lot.
Tents. You have to have 15-foot long tent stakes.
There's no trees to tie off to.
No.
There's some sagebrush and stuff,
That's
but
about
it is tents are not advised unless you got friends with RVs that can box you in your tent.
You circle the wagons.
And even then, the tent will be hitting your face with the heavy winds at night unless you got a crazy good tent.
I love the story. We have a friend, Dave, who's he's going to be one of the co-dogs in one of the 4,800 cars.
And he's racing his UTV.
And he's racing his UTV. But I had no experience with Johnson Valley or King of the Hammers before, but he was telling a story at one of the meetings, and he's like, "Yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night, and my tent was like crushed against my face.
Oh, yeah.
From the winds." Like
no
that,
bueno.
That would suck.
So RV, find a friend with an RV, rent an RV.
Yeah,
RV is the way to go.
for sure.
And there's a million of them out there.
Oh yeah, toy haulers, toy boxes, fifth wheels, whatever.
Even an enclosed trailer with a little buddy heater would be all right.
Hell yeah.
An enclosed
Hell yeah.
cargo trailer. It's just something because tents, no bueno.
Yeah.
So water, bring lots of water. There are water, or is. I've seen a couple water trucks running around out there.
And you can
And
probably
it's
buy a bottle
$50.
of water.
Well, you can buy that, but it's $50 whether they fill up 5 gallons
Or 50
or 50 gallons,
Right.
or 100 gallons. It's
That's-
$50.
I mean, I remember I was there 2 years ago. The guys showed up and we just like lined up our cans.
Yeah.
And we just filled them all up.
So, and you can bribe them with. They typically don't take adult beverages, but they do love Gatorade and soda and stuff while they're on the job. So. That's a little pro tip for you. Mm-hmm. And then there's the RV dump service as well, because if you're out there for 7, 8, 9 days and you got a bunch of people in your RV, your tanks are going to fill up.
Yep.
And don't be
Talking about the black and gray.
Yeah, don't be a douchebag and dump your black water in the desert or in a 55-gallon drum and leave it for somebody to pick up, like happened a couple years ago. But apparently that was an accident or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
that's a hell of an accident.
Well, there is a backstory to all that, but
Okay.
people that know what I'm talking about right now. Fuel. So you're about
25 miles.
20, roughly 20, 25 miles. You're a little closer to fuel, though.
You are.
It's 25 miles to like a big store, is there a Walmart there or something?
I don't know. I mean, there's grocery stores, but here's the deal. You're out in the middle of the desert, and there's at the heyday, the top part of this event is going to be 80,000 people out there. So the access road,
Wednesday on Boone Road
is going to be packed. And so it's like, oh shit, we just ran out of whatever. It's like let's run to town. It's like it's
a trek.
It's 6 miles to the road.
Yeah, it's a trek,
which is going to be packed with people.
Is it 6?
Five,
pretty far.
6 miles,
Yeah.
whatever it is. And then you've got 20 miles to the town, and then you might get to the town, and it's going to be a shitload of people that are just like you that forgot your whatever, your spice or your ice or your whatever.
Yeah. They sell ice on the
they do.
Hammer Town.
The point I'm making is if you forget something and you need to run to town, it's going to be an inconvenience.
Come prepared.
It's going to take you several hours to run back.
It's not going to be fun.
So
water, fuel, firewood. Firewood's a premium out there.
There are vendors, but you're gonna pay dearly.
Yeah, it's like $5 for all that you can carry off in your own arms, or $200 a truckload. So, and then there's a guy several people driving around with like dump trailers full, and you can wheel and deal with them.
We did that 2 years ago.
We did. We got some good wood one year, and we got some really shitty smoky wood one year.
Yeah, it's kind of a crapshoot, is what we're saying.
It is a crapshoot, and technically you're supposed to buy it where you burn it in California, but you're down in the desert. I don't know, whatever.
Well, there is no firewood in the desert. Just
no, you're not cutting down any dead tree limbs.
There are no dead
anything.
trees. There's nothing there,
and it gets pretty damn cold.
It can. I mean, What were your lows last year?
Well, it snowed.
So below freezing.
The day of Every Man Challenge that morning we woke up, it was freaking freezing. And I'm used to the cold. I don't mind the cold. I have the gear for cold weather. And man, I bundled up. I had a Carhartt one-piece freaking suit on. And that was saving grace, because if I didn't have that, everybody, it was bitter cold. But,
and a heated seat in
the buggy was great.
So this is for the RV people, which will be a majority of you. When it gets to be this cold, and it will be cold. I mean, when I was there 2 years ago in 2018, preface this, I was unable to attend in 2019. I had work obligations, so everything I'm talking about was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I am going in 2020, but every morning we woke up, it was like 26, 28, 30 degrees, whatever it was. It was cold. Mm-hmm. So the RV people, now our rigs, have water tanks, have plumbing. We have onboard heating systems.
Heater,
and a lot of these rigs are 4-season rated, so they've got forced air heat goes into the tank area.
Yeah.
To keep that stuff from freezing. And now I believe you were mentioning somebody froze and had issues.
Last year, a guy had water leaking out of his rig, his cab over camper, because it froze and ruptured a line.
In your group?
Yep. Well, he was camped right next to us. Somebody, he was like a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend that camped next to us.
Uh-huh.
And I felt bad for him, man. It was a bad
Yeah,
deal.
Once in those, getting into those, I had a plumbing issue a few years ago on my previous camper. Remember the Northern Light when I pulled into into Meadow Lake that year? Mm-hmm. And that was a bad enough deal that I was like ready to say, "Fuck it, I got to go home tomorrow because I got no way." But we were all able to rally together and figure it out and stop it and make it so it was good.
You were angry, Chris.
I was angry. Well, it's just. Shit happens, but I mean, what's nice about the new camper is if you get into the cubby holes and stuff like this one, that what ended up happening on my old one was the outside shower. Something broke on the valve system for that, and there was no way to isolate that.
Right.
My new camper, there's valves inside the bathroom where I can go in under the sink and I can close those valves and isolate that area. If
you have a new camper, you don't have an old 16-year-old camper like mine.
Yeah, no.
So propane, I think, is where you were going with that.
Yeah.
The heating,
right?
Propane, and the little buddy heater.
Yes, sir. I'm going to buy one of those.
Helps conserve your propane because it'll heat up your camper quick with minimal, propane.
It's the longest process. So there's two parts to this: is the propane and your battery,
and your battery life, right? So if you've got a weak battery system, no solar panel, one battery running all your incandescent lights in your RV, you're going to be hating life, especially if there's no sun. But if the sun's out and you got a solar panel and a couple batteries and some LED lights in your RV,
yes, sir,
you're going to be way better off, but it is what it is.
There are no trees out there, so there's no shade.
That's true.
But yeah.
So stock up on propane. We bring extra propane bottles.
Well, we have. So that's the deal.
Accessories, propane and propane accessories.
Propane accessories. You got your little buddy you talked about, and then we're going to have the stadium kitchen that we'll be setting up.
Yeah.
Which requires propane. But
God damn it, Bobby.
God damn it, Bobby.
I was trying to make a reference there. You get it now?
I do.
You do?
I do.
All right.
So,
Bobby.
So making sure you have enough propane because, like we said, it gets cold and.
Oh damn it, Bobby! Why don't you polish that propane tank?
King of the hill, killing me.
All right, go ahead. Sorry. Sorry.
Our camper. So there's a lot of.
Are you going to go into the RV thing right now?
No,
or what?
you just keep going.
No, I don't know.
I'm going to interject.
You are interjecting.
Well,
That's fine.
But I mean, this is important because when you're in an RV and you're out in the desert for 8 nights, like we're going to be, you have to manage your resources. And
you do.
So we have solar. You and I both have solar on our campers. It'll recharge our batteries during the day if the sun's out, which is awesome.
Propane. Out.
We both have dual tanks in our rigs, and most RVs have at least 2 tanks. Some of the smaller budget ones might just have one, but we do carry extra propane because we have to run the stoves and whatnot, the barbecues and whatnot. But I am actually going to probably bring a 4th just in case.
Oh yeah, I do,
because I don't. If it you don't know, so that's kind of what we're getting at. Is you don't know what the weather's going to be.
You don't know. It was so cold last year. I burned through a lot of propane.
Yeah,
keeping that camper warm and water heater running.
Water heater and the refrigerator.
The refrigerator is very efficient.
It is,
and especially when it's cold.
But this is the thing: is you need to keep your refrigerator running. If you run out of propane because you've been heating your camper, running your generator, well,
that's the other thing that will rob if you have a propane generator.
Your hot water heater
it will suck down the propane quick.
So that's why you want to have a plan. And anyway,
just prepare. If you're staying out there for 7 nights, plan on spending 14 nights. Be prepared for 14. Just over prepare. I can't stress that enough.
Right.
Because it could be super hot. It could be super cold. It could be perfect. You just don't know. It's a crapshoot. It's like a box of chocolates.
It's like
just don't know what you're going to get.
The first year I went, the weather was awesome. The second year I went, the weather was mostly awesome until the last day, and then we had that big storm. But you just don't know what you're going to get. So plan for everything.
So water, fuel,
water. Mm-hmm.
Propane,
firewood,
toilet paper.
Do not run out of toilet paper.
Mountain money, as some people call it.
You don't want to be that person wandering around. Hey man, can I borrow some toilet paper? I ran out.
Now they have the plastic boxes there in Hammertown. They got a lot of them.
Oh hell yeah!
And they do a good job, and that's fine. But just word of advice: Carry some toilet paper.
Carry toilet paper. Yeah, no, it's I've got at least 3 rolls all the time in my camper. So that's a good question. So if you're doing the RV thing, do you need to do the specific RV toilet paper, or do you just use any toilet paper?
That's a question for me or Lorenzo.
For you.
Oh, okay.
Because I just use
it depends on your system, plumbing system that you have. Mine, I can use regular toilet paper, no problem. Life's too short to use cheap ass sandpaper toilet paper.
Single ply.
Single ply do not apply. Look at you. You are so bad. This is the first podcast of 2020, and you are making more racket down there. I'm glad you're the one that gets to edit the podcast and try and clean this mess up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, good.
Anyway.
So it depends on your plumbing system for the short answer of your deal. Like mine, I have 0 problems. It's straight down to the tank, straight out. I don't have any clogs at all. But there's some intricate plumbing on some of these RVs now that have a lot of bends.
Bends and turns.
Yeah, that can clog easily. So, anyways, I don't know.
Well, it's interesting because you look at the owner's manual and they say, "Oh, no, you need to use the specific RV TP," and I'm like, I'm not spending extra money for that, so I don't do it anyway.
Okay, well there you go.
So yeah, don't run out of toilet paper. Yeah.
Chris has an infatuation with toilet paper.
Well,
apparently.
I'm going to talk about that.
Are you an aficionado? TP aficionado?
Not so much. What else do we need?
I just spilled a little bit of my bourbon there.
Geez, what are we drinking? We're drinking Bullet bourbon.
Bullet bourbon.
Nice. We'll talk about that a little later. So, what else? I think we got a long list
You
here.
said. You said. Did you say ice? Did you say firewood?
We said fire. Well, we already talked about firewood.
Yeah.
Ice. We need ice. You need to remember ice.
So there are ice vendors in town. So that's readily available.
Right.
To keep your bourbon cold.
or
whatever drink you have.
Margaritas if you're in
and you know what? This thing has grown so much over the years that, I mean, realistically, you could come to the desert.
Yeah.
Sleep in your car and as long as you got enough money, you could eat in Hammertown.
That's right. There are food vendors and ice cream vendors.
And ice cream and coffee. The coffee vendor was really popular last year. It was so cold.
I'm sure he was.
And they had good coffee, actually.
Yeah.
So there was you could go there with just, as long as you got enough money, you could go there minimal, car.
Is there a bar?
No. Well, I had to think because there's several opportunities to get, if you're a nice person, getting a beer in Hammertown is not a problem. There's a lot of
friendly
people,
vendors.
backpacks and wagons and stuff running around, and
then of course Wheeling Wine and Whiskey Camp.
That's right. If you happen to find our camp, you're not going to go thirsty. But,
no.
Anyways, but food, our group is growing. I mean, a lot of my phone calls yesterday were people inquiring about our group and what we're doing for food and stuff. So what we're going to do that makes it super simple.
Right. Oh, this is
and we've got so many people, and we did it last year and it worked out great. So couple people pair up,
right,
and pick what they're going to cook that night for dinner. Mm-hmm. They shop for that food for our group, which is going to be like 20 some odd people.
Is it 20?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they cook it, and of course, there's a lot of us that jump in and will help prepare, help clean up, and all that stuff. And then that's their night. You basically are in charge of one night of meals, and then we share our breakfast. A bunch of people bring bacon and linguiça and hash browns and eggs and chorizo. We got some really good chorizo that shows up.
Hash browns.
Thank you, Dave. And so we don't go hungry.
No.
But we divide all that up and then divide up the cost at the end of the event. So, it ends up costing us like, $22 a day for a damn good breakfast and an excellent dinner.
No, we don't.
So, and snacks are essential. I love to have a backpack, some people call it a go bag, whatever you want to call it, with your essentials in it, some snacks, beef jerky, granola bars, whatever your thing is. Water. You got juice boxes in yours, I think. You put some juice boxes in there. Some
dinosaurs on them.
What do they call those other ones? The Go-Gurts? The little yogurt in
My juice boxes actually are wine.
Oh, yes, yours are the wine box, the black box. So having that and having your sunscreen in there, your oh my God, if you
Sunglasses.
Here's another essential right here.
What's that?
Pro tip. Lip balm, chapstick.
Clapstick.
Well, you call it clapstick. I don't know why. Don't want to know why. But chapstick is essential in the desert.
Yeah. Well, you gotta
regardless of whether it's hot or cold, windy or not, your lips are going to get chapped in the desert.
Yeah. In the mountains, too. I mean, I have a bunch of that in the camper, so yeah.
So chapstick is huge. A pair of gloves. Just like mechanics gloves are great. I love those. I have a couple pairs of those in the buggy and one in my backpack. Just to, if it does get that cold, having just some gloves are great. Hat.
You gotta have a hat.
Gotta have some sort of hat,
especially when your hair's starting to thin and you're gonna burn the top of your head, like me.
Whoopsie. And then like a lightweight rain jacket or poncho or something, because a storm can roll in and it can. It happened last year. I was driving the buggy and we got to the base of Chocolate Thunder. And then it started to thunder and rain.
Oh, jeez.
And there's no windows to roll up or anything.
No roof, no windows.
I had a sweatshirt. And a sweatshirt isn't very waterproof. I don't know if you guys know that, but
you probably drove 80 miles an hour back to camp and were there.
No. I proceeded to try and climb up the hardest line possible, the far right line, and with wet,
nice,
wet tires. But I do have a word there: sticky tires. Stickies work great. God, I love stickies.
Even in the rain, huh?
Oh God,
nice.
That's so good.
Nice,
so good.
So yeah, goggles.
Oh, goggles. That is excellent. I have a pair of those in the buggy because I don't have a windshield. But even if you do have a windshield, goggles are priceless in the desert.
Well, especially if there's a windstorm kicks up.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was going with that.
Sand
Because
is
brutal. You're just out there in the middle of the desert, and that sand does blow. Don't take anything in the desert that you don't want to get sand in.
No, right.
Okay, because I've been out there and you've seen it. Those of you that follow the Instagram pages and stuff, especially like Cody Wagner, that has this laser town down there, and and people that have gone down for Thanksgiving trips where the wind's blowing, they're trying to set up a tent.
Don't do tents. No bueno.
No, it's not happening. So goggles. And along with the goggles, and I have like 6 of these in the buggy, is those socks that wrap around your neck, and then you can pull them up over your face.
And if you forget to bring them,
they have a ton of them there. People are giving them away.
Go to the
Nitto.
ESAB booth has them.
Yeah, and Nitto gives them away. There's a lot of vendors, and that's a great thing. So I've collected those over the years, and I have brand new ones in the buggy. So whoever my passenger is, they're freaking out. They're like, "Oh, I'm not prepared." I'm like, "Well, reach into the little compartment there on the right, and you'll find everything you need.
It'll be all set up."
Yeah, I take care of my people.
There's an shit bar there too, by the way.
There is an shit handle. I'm going to put some pins in there. There's a little thing of Vagisil in there for you too.
Well,
and the Vagisil button's on the dash.
Yeah.
If you need that.
So again, you need to be self-sufficient. You need to be prepared. That kind of covers the footwear. We didn't really talk about that.
Well, no, I got a whole bunch more. Are you wrapping this thing up, or what are you wrapping up here?
I'm not wrapping anything.
No, it kind of sounded like Lorenzo was giving me the wrap-up sign. I'm like,
so we did the goggles, sunglasses, footwear, change of socks.
Okay, so go ahead and talk about footwear and change of socks, because that's a big thing for you.
So
you have sensitive feet, don't you?
Well, I take care of my feet. So having a good pair of shoes, walking shoes, because when you get to, if you're a spectator, which most of us are going to be, all of us are going to be, you're going to want to have nice shoes because you're going to be walking up and down the hills for your Chocolate Thunder. If you're going to be over at
back door, there's a lot of rocks.
You're walking on rocks, so you want good, strong, maybe even high top,
good
type
ankle
boots.
Support.
Maybe hiking boots with a high top, not a low top. What I like to do when I'm hiking and doing stuff like that, so within my backpack, I like to carry a extra pair of socks just in case your feet get wet. I hate having my feet be wet, so I always just little pro tip: just have an extra pair of socks so you can change your socks.
Not wet. Well, it could rain and it could flood out there, but What, because you got sweaty feet?
Whatever.
Sweaty feet?
Sweaty.
Nope.
Nope. Anyway, change of socks is a good thing. And we talked about the sunscreen, lip balm, hat.
Hey, wet wipes.
Oh, wet wipes.
That's good because the just having those on hand. And what is Tyler calls them, the hippie bath or something?
Hippie, I don't know what he calls them.
But they're good. We gave him some for the holidays.
Those are for people that don't have campers.
Well, no, they're just good to have to just, it gets dirty out there and crazy. So your noise levels tonight are just off the charts.
Well, Lorenzo's not keeping it raining. He's not reining me in.
No, he's not. He doesn't even care about you. He's not even looking at you anymore.
He's still looking at that whiskey.
He is. He's staring
moonshine.
at it. He's staring at it.
Anyway.
So wet wipes is
Wet
good
wipes.
to have.
The big ones.
Little package of wet. Well, I don't care. Whatever depends on
just the regular
what you
ones.
want.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, those are good to have.
If you need a big one, you can grab a big wet wipe. You need a little wet wipe. I don't care.
I had the big ones in my old
Wet nap?
camper. They got stolen. So
Wet now. Well, okay.
Whatever.
There you go.
homeless people need them too, I guess.
So, yeah. If you need to prepare for cold, so
Yes.
having thermals,
Thermal long
layering,
Layering. Yes.
layering. And if you are coming from a warm climate, like Mike from Arizona, that wears shorts 362 days a year, or 300 and I don't know. He's definitely
it's
a
90,
lot.
It's a cool day there is like 90 degrees, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever gets colder than that in Arizona. But anyways, I just know it's hot, and you get out and you're like, oh, I'm going to the desert, and you associate desert with heat.
Yeah, no.
And it can get hot, but it can get damn cold. So prepare. If you are a cold-blooded individual, which I know a few.
Mike, so definitely wear long, bring warm,
Bring layers.
weather clothes. Yeah,
Windbreaker, some thermals, stuff like that, and then a really good the Carhartt jackets.
Oh yeah,
or Carhartt-esque jacket. I know Mike has a DeWalt heated jacket, like I have.
like you do. Yeah,
Love that thing.
yeah.
In Milwaukee, whatever your brand is, I don't care.
Your heated jacket,
Bring your heated jacket because that is awesome.
perfect.
And then what else? You got? We should.
Well, gloves. Did we talk about gloves?
We did talk about gloves.
Okay.
So I bring some thinner gloves, like I mentioned, the mechanics gloves, just some cover, but you can bring your ski gloves if you want.
I like to have the warm, waterproof, insulated gloves. Those are good. I have a pair of those in my truck at all times. So
Wow.
they'll be with me.
Okay. How's cell service out there, Chris?
Well, that's a good question, and it's generally pretty good actually near Hammertown. If you have Verizon, at least I'm not sure about AT&T, but Verizon seemed to have been pretty good. Was good last year or 2 years ago. And
2 years ago.
I had no
But-
issues making phone calls or uploading things to the internet. But they also do hotspots or Wi-Fi thing going on. I'm not sure if they still do
You
that.
have to pay for that, I believe.
No, dude. Like there was the first year I went, there was like this these towers that had 12-volt batteries. There was like this is a
Yeah, and that was for the Wi-Fi that you have to pay for camp, like we did last year.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so cell phone service I think has generally been pretty good if you have Verizon. I don't know about AT&T.
It is good, and here's what happens: it's really good when you get there the week before, and then by Wednesday
It sucks.
of Hammertown week, King of the Hammers week.
When there's 80,000
There's
people.
there's everybody's trying to download, upload videos from that day or whatever, and talk to their peeps that aren't on the valley floor that they're making them jealous because haha I'm here and you're not.
I don't know. I'll fire up my Wii Boost and see what happens.
And it definitely slows down. So don't just plan on shitty cell service. So that gets us to one thing I want to say before we talk about other means of communication, and this is a pro tip.
Yeah.
I've had a few of them. I hope you're listening. This is one of the most important pro tips because everybody, their brother, sister, cousin, everybody's carrying a cell phone.
Yeah.
May or may not work, and people throw them in their pocket. They're pulling them out all the time to take pictures and videos because it's a Kodak moment every 4 seconds in the King of the Hammers.
It's the best camera you have.
Okay.
It's one you got.
And let's just paint a scenario here. You're at Backdoor Thursday night. It is the most ridiculous shit show you've ever seen in your life. You're questioning humanity at that point of what's going on.
Fireworks and dildos.
Even wow. He went there.
I did.
That's why we have the E on our podcast, apparently.
Well, yeah. Well,
but here is a pro tip.
Uh-huh.
And you're out there, and you're taking pictures and video. You may be consuming some adult beverages, watching the show.
No.
And you may, get forgetful and not care anymore. And your phone falls out of your pocket.
There it is.
Boom.
Bye.
And you got your screen locked with either your Face ID or your finger ID or a passcode.
Uh-huh.
So if somebody finds the phone, and they're probably a good individual.
Maybe.
Got a heart.
Maybe.
And they're like, look, I just found a nice iPhone 11.
Wow.
A really nice phone.
Jason money.
But no, not even close. I'm running a 7 here still. And it's got a shitty battery that I need to figure out that before I go down there. But anyways, they pick up the phone and it's locked.
Uh-huh.
Can't figure out whose phone it is. So on your lock screen, you should put a contact phone number of somebody, a relative, a friend, somebody that they can call that is not on the valley floor.
Okay.
The desert, Johnson Valley, California. They're somewhere else. So if found, please contact Joe Blow at this phone number.
You know him?
Joe's a good guy.
Is he?
Yeah, he really
Cool.
is.
Right on.
Really is. Lorenzo likes him.
Likes anybody.
So this is it. And I didn't come up with this. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Shannon Welch,
Okay.
which some of you may know, she worked for Hammer King there and for Dave.
Yeah.
And has since moved on. But she put this out on her Instagram page. And so your lock screen should have that on there. So if somebody finds it, they can call and it will get in contact with your buddy or whoever that's not on the lake bed to say that, hey, I got Chris's phone.
Right.
And here's how you get it. She's experienced this firsthand. Several phones have been turned in
Hammertown.
Yeah, and
cool.
She's been able to return some because she recognized the rig or whatever was on the screen, the screensaver that comes up, the lock screen. But good to have a phone number. So that is the pro tip.
Sweet.
How about that?
That's a great tip.
That's worth it right there. So if you don't listen to the rest of the podcast, you got that going for you.
Perfect.
All right. What else you got, Chris? You got anything else? What about night run?
Night run.
Let's talk about running around out in the desert at night, because it happens.
Yeah, it does. And you need lights.
And it's crazy.
Make sure you have lights.
And it's lights before lockers, right?
Well, in some cases, it might be. It's a full-on shit show. You got buggies, you got Jeeps, you got side-by-sides.
Describe your first night in Hammertown. What you thought, your experience the first night in Hammertown.
I said, these people are all crazy. Nobody sleeps. You don't sleep there. You're not going to King of the Hammers to sleep.
No.
I mean,
quiet time is between like 2:30 a.m. It starts getting
4.
quiet, and then 5 a.m.
Yeah,
so
5.
that's roughly between the hours of 3 and 5 are pretty quiet in Hammertown. I mean, just the desert in general, because the late night partiers are passed out.
Yep.
They're done. And then the early risers,
They're up.
Get up and got to warm up their rigs. And you hear these
like
V8s racing across the desert at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So
No dust. You got to start the dust.
and you're going to, music,
Fireworks. People on motorcycles
bombs.
racing through your campsite in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Secure your campsite. That's a good one. So we like to circle the wagons.
Yep.
So we have, 1 or 2 entries into our camp and exits.
Right.
Because, people go flying around that desert. And if you have like a gap in between campers or something, they're going to use it.
They think it's a fucking road.
But back to the night run deal.
Yeah.
Have a good flashlight, couple flashlights with you. because walking around out there at night, if you're out of your vehicle, I know, everybody's got crazy light bars and stuff, and there's plenty of light there.
Oh, yeah.
But, you have to get out of your vehicle, or you're going to watch Backdoor or Chocolate Thunder at night, which is very, very popular and highly entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
And bring that. A headlamp works great.
Sure. Yeah, it keeps your hands free.
To hold your beverage.
Your phone.
And your phone.
Or your camera.
Oh, there you go. Look at you.
Sweet.
Your ham radio.
Ham radio. Ham and camera.
Yeah.
And I need 3 hands.
You need... That's what your fanny pack's for.
Oh, shit. I don't have enough hands. Oh, boy.
Batteries. Bring batteries. Batteries that's another thing I keep in my backpack. If the flashlight goes dead, I got backup batteries.
Take an inventory of everything that uses batteries, whether it's AAA, AA, DC, 9-volt, whatever. I mean, us people that own campers, we've got 9-volt batteries for our smoke detectors. We have, like, our AA batteries are in our door lock.
Wow.
And then you got AAA batteries in our headlights, and God only knows what else. I mean, I carry...
AA and AAA seem to be the most common.
I carry a full freaking supply of spare batteries.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Night run.
So
you got to be prepared when you're sitting around the campfire and somebody just inevitably says, night run.
Yep.
And
everybody gets in their raisin, and takes off. And but remember, it's night, so it's going to be cold, colder. So be dressed
That's when
appropriately.
that seat heater goes on.
Right. Yeah, I think there's only one in your buggy right now.
This is the driver's side.
Yeah, exactly.
You can come over one night and put the one in the passenger side if you want.
I might. So we mentioned camera.
Yeah. So talk about cameras.
So we talked about Christmas earlier, and one of the things I got for Christmas was a brand new digital SLR camera and lenses and stuff for almost specifically because of this podcast and Instagram and stuff like that. I wanted to be able to take high quality.
Did we fire our photographer, Andy?
No, this is in a supplement to him.
Okay.
In case he's unconscious.
Because he took some nice photos.
He likes to hang out with Lorenzo sometimes, so who knows?
Yeah, well, they're both. They both drink tequila.
Exactly. So anyway, having a nice camera. Obviously, the desert could be a little harsh on equipment like that. So between the moisture, temperature changes, condensation, sand, grit, dirt, mud, it's harsh. So it's up to you if you want to bring your fancy cameras out there. Beer. I am going to bring my camera because we're going to be out there as representing Wheeling Wine and Whiskey.
Wheeling Wine and Whiskey.
I want to take high quality pictures that we, both for personal and the podcast use. So it's up to you whether you're bringing your little point and shoot or using your phone, or if you want to bring your fancy DSLR.
How about a Polaroid?
A Polaroid, yeah, there you go.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
I haven't seen one of those
they still
in
make
years.
them.
Wow.
They make them for kids.
Wow. You got your little 110 Instamatic too, or what?
Yeah. Good stuff.
With the little globe flash bulb.
Oh, God, you are really dating yourself right now.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Jimmy and Tyler have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Woo, their heads exploded.
What the flash cube? It had like 4 sides, right?
Flash, yeah, exactly. And it turned.
So it would flash. And then it would rotate to the next. Yeah, and you had 4 flashes available.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
That's going back a few days.
That's
a few years,
great.
A few decades.
I wonder if CJ, but he's a kind of a camera aficionado. He might
know about those.
Rusty
CJ,
lid off road.
You can pop in there. Yeah, rusty lid. Yeah.
He gave us a little gift yesterday.
Did he? Oh,
it was brown liquor.
Yes, sir.
Brown liquor, and it might be cinnamon-esque shine there. The apple pie.
I think it's apple pie.
Freaking delicious.
He had persimmon or something like that yesterday.
Might have. Yeah, I heard they made that in Mexico.
Yeah. So
brought it back.
Yeah, I have. I forgot it's in the Jeep. I got to take it out of the Jeep and put it in the camper.
Mine's sitting right here. Lorenzo's been looking at it all night.
He's. Do you see the puddle of drool?
Yeah, he is drooling a little bit.
It's not good.
Damn it.
He's twitching. I don't know.
All right, so back to your cameras. Back to
cameras.
Back to 2020.
So your choice, but this is one of those places that you just want to be able to take a lot of cool photographs because there's going to be a lot of great moments.
A lot of content.
Whether daytime, nighttime, whatever. But we could have a whole podcast on photographic.
How about
equipment.
GoPros?
GoPros are cool. I have 2 now, and I'm going to be running those probably when we're hopefully in Art's Ultra 4 car.
How about a drone?
I don't have a drone.
And you're not allowed to bring a drone.
You're not allowed to fly drones.
Not allowed to
right.
fly. And they have
don't break that
strictly enforce that. So don't bring your drone.
Yeah, don't
do
think
it.
about it.
It will get shot down. You're right by the military base. That's why.
It won't be good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's not. Don't even think about it. That's a no-go for sure.
And they also, during the race, the 4400 race, there are helicopters.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't want to be screwing around in the airspace with those helicopters.
Leave your drone at home.
This is one of those things, you guys are, fuck that, I'm going to do whatever I want. No, this is one of those things, don't do it.
Uh-oh. Rant coming on here.
Yeah, I know everybody's like, whatever, rules don't apply, but this is one of those ones that you make a helicopter crash, you're bad news.
Bad news bears.
Bad news.
Okay, anyway. So anything else on cameras?
No.
Okay, I got something. We got to go back to communications. So we talk about cell phones are spotty.
Yeah.
It's gotten better over the years, but don't rely on it. Don't have that as your sole mean of communication with your group. So walkie-talkies,
Yeah,
the
FRS, the little FRS
they'll
radios.
work.
Yeah.
Everybody and their brother's going to be talking on that channel, so good luck.
Flat as a pancake out there, so line of sight's
they
good.
work fine. They do work. So they're great. Your buddies are at camp. If you're camp near Hammertown and you're in Hammertown or whatever, that works great. But the ham radio,
yes.
If you are a licensed ham radio operator.
That's right, the caveat there.
And if you're not, take does Tyler have a class that you can get in before Hammers here in the next 20 days? But the ham radios work awesome, and all the teams are running off of ham frequencies, and you can listen in.
Yep.
But you're technically not allowed to speak.
Don't talk on their frequencies.
Don't talk on their frequencies, and don't talk if you don't have a ham license. So,
what's also cool is you can listen to the King of the Hammer operation frequencies. And
you can listen and the Weatherman.
The weather, you can listen to all that stuff. Don't talk on those frequencies either. But it's cool to be able to monitor and listen in on it.
So I think I said this story once on a previous podcast, which sounds funny to say because. I don't know. It sounds funny to say because we've got 33 of them in the can, but it's still new to me. A funny story about the ham radio is when Art and John, our buddies,
2 years ago.
Yeah, a couple years ago, and they had a major front and rear axle failure, and they were somewhere just past the Cougar Buttes, but it was they were out in the middle of nowhere. They were like in the furthest point away from Hammertown.
Right.
And we have some high-powered ham radios. We're licensed ham radio operators, and we were trying to contact them. And John, the co-pilot there, he's very savvy on ham radios as well. Mm-hmm. But we couldn't get in touch with him.
No.
So I was in Remote Pit 2A, and I have a nice radio in the Jeep, so I radioed out to the weatherman.
Okay. He sits up on top of a mountain.
Yeah, so he pretty much hears everything and can reach out to everybody.
Right.
So, I yelled out our car number to the weatherman and like, hey, do you have a status on this car number? And he goes, what channel are you running? And I said what channel we were on, which was a ham radio frequency. And he goes, well, that's a ham frequency. And I go, KK6YXM. He goes, okay, good. And he said his call sign, and he goes, okay. So, it was cool to that moment that's like, yeah, I am a licensed ham radio operator. And anyways, so But the weatherman couldn't even catch him.
Really?
Because, it was not a good.
Wow.
We finally,
I
like an
remember that
hour
whole
later,
deal,
we got a hold of them and found out that they were done. And we sent a trailer and a truck to go get them. They went and had tacos and then came back.
It took like all night to get back or something.
It was just before dusk when they came back.
Yeah.
It was a sad deal. But anyways, welcome to the Hammers.
Exactly. Well, I mean,
So-
hitting a rock at 60 miles an hour,
Jesus.
whatever. So,
Okay, going through my list here. So, done. Oh, along those lines, let's talk about GPS, mapping, Gaia. So, GPS works great down there.
and you're going to need something because when you're out there, you can get spun around and twisted up and
Oh, it's happened.
I mean, the first year I went out there, we just drove off into the. I was with Andy and a couple of friends and his JK, and we're like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And I'm like, everything looks the same out here, man. So you just,
Dude.
I mean, obviously there's a lot of rigs all over the place, and they'll get you back to King. But it's like, what if you're out there just not during King of the Hammers? I mean, you might never find where you.
But here's the deal. I mean, that race course is so expansive, and obviously they don't go through and rope off the entire race course because it's physically impossible.
No.
And, it is public land. It's BOM land, Bureau of Land Management. And
there's a Marine base nearby.
there's a Marine base out there that's a no-fly zone, literally.
Exactly.
So, we were trying to find remote pit 2A one year.
Right.
And we made a right when we should have made a left.
Uh-oh.
And I'm following people, so I'm just like, whatever. And all of a sudden, this side-by-side comes hauling ass at us. And I'm like, we're somewhere where we're not supposed to be. We were on the race course.
Oh, boy.
No cars were coming at us in immediate danger, but we were on the race cars. But we didn't know it.
Okay.
Because it's like there's a million roads out there.
Sure.
Tracks, I should say. And guy comes over and he was cool and he goes, "Hey, where you guys headed?" And we're like, "We're trying to find a remote 2A." And he goes, "Dude, you got to go back this way and around because you're total wrong direction.
They're lost."
You're going the wrong way."
How does he know where we're going?
So, anyways, we had to get off the race course and go, but it happens, and it's a challenging for those guys that are trying to keep the race course clear. That's a major job because there's a lot of yahoos out there, and people like us that we honestly didn't know, and it's an easy mistake the first time there.
Sure.
So be very, very cautious of where you go, and if you don't think you're in the right area, you're probably not.
Right.
And if you don't see, you see race cars coming at you, you better get the hell out of the way. So GPS works really well, even if you don't have cell service.
Right.
And your phone will connect to the GPS.
Download the maps.
Download the maps, and there's a lot of them out there, Avenza and stuff. We're partial to Gaia. That I've been learning that. I've already started downloading my maps, like we talked about. CJ helped us out with that, and he's going to help me out more. So, CJ, if you're listening, we're going to get together and finalize all our mapping for KOH. So I'm planning on having the iPad and the buggy, just so I can know every single trail. And Tyler's helped us out.
Perfect.
He's already done some Gaia work on mapping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so,
I think that's all been uploaded to
and
it.
then there's some maps out there online, but it's not readily available. I mean, if you type in King of the Hammers, trails, there's not a lot that comes up on Google. So,
but yeah, I mean, and the reality is there's a lot of volunteers that are out there, but I don't think they can cover every square inch of the desert. No. But the areas that the general spectators can access is becoming more and more limited. Basically, at this point, unless you're a volunteer going out to remote pits during Everyman Challenge or during the 4400 race, you're going to be limited to backdoor, Chocolate Thunder, and the obstacle is just to the right of Chocolate Thunder. I forget what that's called. If you're, Chocolate Thunder's that way. If you kind of go more towards
backdoor.
No, if you're looking at Chocolate Thunder and you look to the right of Chocolate Thunder, there's that area over there with like a little valley that they come down, and
the sand.
I can't remember what that obstacle's called, but those are basically the 3 areas that spectators are allowed to go to now. I know, or in the early days, the first year I went, Andy and I, and we were heading out to some obstacle way out in the backside. Spooner, whatever it was.
Spooner Canyon.
And they stopped us. They said, no, we're not letting people out here anymore.
You know why it's called Spooner Canyon?
No.
You don't know the story behind that?
No.
Well, think about it. There was 2 guys out there 4-wheeling.
Oh, no.
Broke down. Desert gets really cold at night.
Broke back.
And they had to spoon to stay warm. That's the story that I heard.
You know what? I want to hear that.
I'm just saying. That's why it's called Spooner Canyon. There's all kinds of great stories of why these trails get named the way they get named.
I don't want to know about
but that's Spooner. Don't want to know. No, don't want to know.
All right, moving on. So yeah, Hammertown.
Yes.
This is a good tip. A lot of vendors.
Is this a pro tip?
A lot of vendors are in Hammertown. Warren and
you got to name them all because you're going to be here. There's going to be a 16-hour podcast.
So cash is king.
Cash is king.
So bring plenty of cash. If you're in the market for winch line or freaking
make it rain cash like Chris does.
There's even like remote control. These badass remote control cars.
Look at you. See, he's already shopping.
I almost pulled the trigger on one last 2 years ago, but there's some great deals to be had. You can go in there and negotiate. Cash is king.
Seats, steering wheels,
suspensions, shocks. I mean,
I bought bags for my buggy last year. Little cargo bags.
4-Wheel Parts has a huge booth. Huge. I mean, it's pretty. It's a great shopping center. So if you're in the market for anything and you want to negotiate with people that are motivated, because they don't want to haul this crap back out of the desert.
You're absolutely right, and it keeps growing every year. I've made some great purchases there. Talked to some great vendors that support our sport. Yep. And it is awesome. Yeah, I mean, you could spend a whole day in Hammertown shopping and checking everything out.
Yeah,
and then you got all the pits right there, but cash is king. They have gotten better with connecting to the interwebs
for
credit card sales and stuff. So I'm not going to say that's not an option, but don't rely on it. Have some cash too.
I mean, because
hang out with Chris.
If you go to the booth where they sell all the King of the Hammers merch, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and stuff like that. Yeah, I think I used your credit card there 2 years ago, but they have a really good connection. So
your black card.
Yeah, my black card.
Your carbon card.
So it's a great shopping opportunity if you're in the market for something off-road related. It's good time.
And I want to say I saw some ATMs out there somehow, some way.
I just don't remember that. Honestly.
Last year, I want to say I did, but I don't know. Don't quote me on that. That could be the bourbon talking right now.
Could be. Yeah.
So just plan accordingly there and have some pesos on you.
Now, if you're going to go out onto the, hopefully you're making it out onto the course, and whether to the big obstacles, and you want to be a spectator out there, and you don't want to stand. Make sure you bring a chair. One of those
nice portable chair. That's a good pro tip.
Yeah,
good. One of those ones you can just throw on your shoulder. A little. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy.
Nope. You don't want nothing big and fancy. No. To take a lot of space. Just bang down.
Yeah, it is. It's you're going to be out there for a while, and then. Having a chair is nice, and maybe a little portable cooler for your favorite
cooler or something,
beverages to keep you refreshed.
And possibly, depending on how big your group is, you might want to bring an Easy Up. I've seen some people that it's like they come out there, they're like full fledged. They bring in a little Easy Up and they set it up, and they're there all damn day.
And then the wind comes up and blows it down into Southern California.
Yep. I mean, the first year I was there, we went over super early on the major race day, Friday. We got out there super early to Chocolate Thunder. We set up, man. We had a great setup.
Yeah.
Right there on a best view. You know who set up right in front of us?
Media.
The cameraman for the network. It's like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, hey, this is the best spot. Yeah, that's why we picked it. Well, I'm media, so I'm taking the spot. It's like, really, dude?
Very little.
So, whatever.
So, it is. But...
Cool.
What else do I have here? Oh, Camelback is a good thing. Staying hydrated.
Yeah, stay hydrated.
Especially
don't
if
fill your
you're
Camelback with wine.
No.
Or vodka. It's got to have water. You got to drink water.
water is good. You're going to dehydrate out there in the desert. You're going to be doing a lot of walking around. They're long days.
Yes, they are.
Water is a good thing.
And remember, no shade.
No shade.
I mean, literally no freaking shade. There are no trees.
Yeah. Unless you get under Chris's Easy Up before it blows away.
Right.
And here's a big one. Public service announcement. Pick up after your damn self.
Yes, sir. Take your
No
garbage
trash
out.
service. Haul it in, haul it out. Don't be one of those guys. They've worked very hard over the years, and they do an extensive cleanup. And I know clubs and volunteers have gone in and cleaned up at back door after a night of debauchery.
Oh, yeah.
And I know recently, the Thanksgiving event, the Johnson Valley Crawlers and stuff that put that on, they go out there and police the area, and that's awesome, but they really shouldn't have to do that. Just pick up your shit, people.
Don't be stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all for having fun and whatnot, but man, throwing bottles and breaking shit and pick it up.
And those other things you mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
Get
BBCs.
thrown. So, here's something else that if you're coming from out of state, welcome to frickin' California.
Yes,
Some of
sir.
the stupidest laws around. But be aware, know the towing laws.
Yes.
And we're not going to go over them right now because it's crazy. But just go ahead and just be aware of, do your homework.
Yes.
You're not going to be able to tow doubles. Your fifth wheel with your trailer on the back with your crawler or something. So
no doubles.
So that ain't going to happen. Speed limit's 55 when you're towing.
Yep.
I'm just telling you the laws. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you the laws. 55 when you're towing.
Yep.
And, cell phone, you got to have a hands-free device.
Dodge is going to go faster than 55, just so you know.
I don't know. You had trouble keeping up last couple of years ago.
I didn't. I got
All right.
you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Whatever. And then if you don't have a licensed vehicle from your state, with a license plate,
Green sticker.
You need to have a green sticker out here in California. And I know you can get a temporary one or something. So you're going to have to go on to
check into that.
Yeah, DMV. I know they have stuff on the King of the Hammers website that will kind of help you out with that. But you are on Bureau of Land Management land, BOM land, we call it out here in California, and you're supposed to have that sticker. They want their money somehow, some way here.
That's ultra4racing.com.
Yeah, ultra4racing.com. Their website's great. They got a ton of stuff going on here that, it's pretty amazing from when I first started going to this event to where we are today in 2020. Yeah, it is a show. Couple things before we wrap this up. Boone Road.
Yeah.
This is great. And there's a great meme that I'll send out again, the Dumb and Dumber meme.
Uh-huh.
Meme, whatever you call that shit.
Memes.
So it shows.
I don't know if I've seen this.
Oh, you've seen it. I've got another one that I'm not even going to talk about right now that I'm going to send out on Instagram. So you need to follow Willie Wine and Whiskey on Instagram.
Right.
But it is fucking priceless. But yeah, the Dumb and Dumber meme, it shows them all excited.
Uh-huh.
Going in. Yeah, Boone Road, we made it.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
And then the one right below it is Boone Road heading out. You're all just, it's been a hell of a week. You're exhausted. And Boone Road is the worst road ever to drive out on. Back to the highway in the middle of nowhere, getting back to your hometown. So
exactly.
So you can look up. Actually, if you use Google or Waze, you can actually type in
King of the
Hammers, and it will come up. That's how big this event is. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't know where you're going, just ask people, and they will point you in the right direction to King of the Hammers.
Or follow the RVs.
Landers, California. You can type in 8500 Boone Road. Mm-hmm. It might take you to Dave Cole's place out there, but you'll be in the vicinity. Or Lasertown.
Lasertown. Uh-huh.
So another key point is just be aware of your surroundings out there. It is batshit crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to candy coat this. it is, it's been said several times, the Burning Man of four-wheeling.
There's a level of lawlessness.
There is. And if you have small children, or you're afraid of loud noises, or you've lived a sheltered life and not experienced a lot, this is probably not the event for you.
No, you don't want to be there at night. Come during the day, but not at night.
Definitely not at night. But I will tell you, I mean, last year, Thursday night has got to be the craziest night at Backdoor, and I have experienced a lot of off-road events, day, night, crazy stuff, questioning, what is going on at the moment.
Yeah.
But that was the first time in my four-wheeling career that I really questioned humanity at that point in time.
Was that the night you put your nose into?
No. That was Monday night. You won't see my buggy on Backdoor Thursday night unless I'm. No, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
So the YJ shouldn't go in there.
Oh, you should totally go in there Thursday night.
Right.
That would be awesome. Lorenzo will ride with you.
Oh yeah, Lorenzo will be sitting there jumping on the gas pedal. Do it.
Oh,
You can do it.
I'll tell you what, man. It is a show, and just be prepared for craziness.
So
fireworks, that was crazy because fireworks were going off, and I guess Thanksgiving, someone got burned like near their eye or right at the corner of their eye.
Yeah,
a lady did because people shooting off fireworks. I mean, there's just stupid drunk people there.
Stupid level of alcohol.
So
that's where things get stupid.
Yeah, but it was entertaining for a while. Yeah, but just.
I haven't done Backdoor on Thursday night, but I do remember after race day on Thursday or Friday night after the last two in 2018, Hammertown just lit up.
Oh, yeah.
It was like bonfires. I mean, we're sitting in our camp. Bonfires are going off. Fireworks are just being launched freaking everywhere. Music is ripping all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Loud V8s.
Oh, it was stupid. It was great. It was absolutely great. We're sitting in our camp just loving it. It was good.
It's really an experience. And, again, we could go on and on about this. We touched upon some good points here.
Yep. Just one last thing.
Okay, I got a couple more things too, but go ahead.
So for the RV people, we talked about dust, and hopefully everybody's got an RV. The tents are not recommended. There's going to be people in tents, we get it. But RV guys, ladies too, keep your doors and windows closed. The dust, even if it's not a windstorm, the dust is prevalent. It's everywhere. No matter what you do, you're going to have dust inside your camper.
Yeah, that's true.
I kept my camper sealed up pretty tight in 2018, and I always keep my kettle on the
kettle.
My kettle.
Moonshine kettle
to boil water.
Oh,
on the lid for my stove.
Yes,
and it's just then I open it up and I heat my water, and then I close the lid and whatnot. But I moved the kettle over, and there's a clean spot and everything. And I did. I wiped everything down daily.
Oh yeah,
it didn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Like I say, if you don't want it to get dirty or sand blasted, don't bring it to the desert.
Don't bring it. So no matter what you do, but you can do things do what you can to minimize it, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and one of the things I know on my camper, I have a little vent for the stove, a little exhaust fan.
Right.
And it's got this stupid little flapper door that's a piece of tin on a piece of tape that's supposed to,
hold it closed or open.
Yeah.
I mean, the one on mine can be either locked in the open position or snapped.
Yeah, mine doesn't lock. And so I put a piece of tape over that vent before I head into the desert because same thing. My stove literally had like a layer of sand and dirt on top of it one day.
You use that to help clean your cast iron pan.
I came back in and I'm like, what the hell? I had all the windows closed and no, that stupid little vent. So I put tape over that. But anyways.
Just put your cast iron out on a string and it'll sandblast it clean.
Yeah. So, but it's a blast. Obviously, you've heard us talk about it, and if you've been there, you know exactly what we're talking about. But if you haven't been there, buckle up, Buttercup. It's a fun ride. But
it is.
Be smart about it. Prepare. Don't go in, like you're driving into, Las Vegas and everything's at your fingertips, because it's not.
No.
It's gotten better, but yeah, there's prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
There are services, but everything costs.
Yeah, it'll cost you money. So one of the things that our show is going to launch on the 7th, Tuesday the 7th.
That's correct.
And there is a live show. Four Wheel Parts, King of the Hammers, is putting on a live show January 7th at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
So if you're listening to this in the morning on your way to work, you could tune in to ultra4racing.com /live.
Okay.
And they're supposed to put on a little pre-show, which is, I'm looking forward to this.
I'll be checking it out. Put it up on the big screen.
Yeah. And then, so pricing. So it's $25 a person for the whole week.
Correct. For Spectator Pass.
Spectator Pass, okay.
And mention that thing. If you register this year, you're locked in.
So right here. So new for 2020, if you pre-order your tickets, so getting them online, which you can do right now, ultra4.com, you were locked in at the $20 price for life.
25.
Oh, I'm sorry, $25 price for life. I just gave you a $5 discount. Use the code Wheeling Wine and Whiskey,
there's
and
no
that'll
code.
no
Code. I don't want Ultra 4 coming.
So
back at us.
$25 price, you're locked in for life. So I don't know how they know you, but
By
somehow they got
email.
it figured
It's probably
out.
locked in by
Yeah,
email.
email address probably. And then you need a camper pass. So that's for any vehicle with living quarters. So an RV, trailer, cab over camper, toter home.
Toter home.
They actually call it toter homes.
Fifth wheel.
We got a buddy with a
toy
toter home.
hauler.
So that's a $20 pass, whether you're there for a day or the whole week.
Right.
The other thing, if you're really VIP, Chris, upper echelon money,
No.
2020 Warren VIP experience.
What's that?
Pretty damn cool if you got the chinga to do it.
They have like a special viewing area and stuff.
Yeah, so if you don't own a rock buggy and you don't four-wheel and you've actually got surplus income because you don't do this crazy sport, but you like to watch it, you can do the Warren VIP experience. So what you have VIP viewing areas, okay, that's exclusive to you. And, of course, you're going to get, catered VIP.
Okay.
And I guess they're saying 5-star Michelin chef here.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty confident they're not better than what we're eating, but we'll see. Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. That's cool. But you got
chafing dishes. That's what they have.
Chafing dishes. I had some chafing going on the other day. So you get your VIP viewing sections for Backdoor, Chocolate Thunder, and Jackhammer.
Oh my! Oh, that's Jackhammer. That's the name.
Yeah, Jackhammer. That was the one you were thinking of. Yeah, that's good. So premium seating locations on the start-finish line.
Right.
The Warren VIP tent, which is pretty cool. So you get access to that the whole week.
Right.
You get your commemorative VIP vest and KOH 2020 medal.
Ooh.
Limited edition Warren VIP swag bag.
Wow.
You get a Warren VIP tent amenities includes large screen TVs, finger food and beverages, comfy chairs, heated, clean environment.
Wow.
Is it like a clean room, like super clean?
I don't know.
So all that for the low price of $595.
Wow.
$595. Now I know they included camping, but maybe that's another deal. I don't know. Maybe they're not including camping this year. I don't see the camping thing on here, but there's 100 of those that they're selling.
Wow.
Okay. So there you go. Once they're sold out, they're gone, but they're still here on the website right now as we're looking at this.
There's a lower level.
There is a lower level. It's the VIP Red. So you get your premium seating at the start-finish line. Warren VIP tent access. And then you got a T-shirt and a medal. And then you get you get access to the tent with the finger foods and
TVs.
stuff. Yeah.
You do not get to go to the backdoor Chocolate Thunder.
You do not have
anymore.
VIP there. You do not have your commemorative VIP filled vest.
Oh
so
my God.
basically, you're walking around like
A commoner.
you're walking around like what was Garth and flashing their VIP badge.
Their backdoor
VIP,
pass.
VIP,
Backstage.
VIP,
Backstage. Yeah,
VIP.
backstage. That's cool. Well, I don't have that kind of dough, so I'm not going there.
Well, there you go. So we're gonna have to create our own VIP experience. But
Exactly.
but anyways, so that's one thing. So basically, for $25, you're in.
Right.
If you have some sort of an RV, then you're going to have to pay $25, not per person, but you got 20 people in your RV.
So you're up to $45
Yeah, so 45 max you're going to spend as a commoner
for a week.
For a week, it's a hell of a deal, and you are going to have more fun than you could imagine.
Now, I don't know that we've really touched on it, but you're going to have a blast. Everybody that goes out there is going to have a blast. Now, Jason and I are going to be spending quite a bit of this time working at King of the Hammers. Oh, yeah. We're going to be hopefully doing interviews and touching bases with drivers and teams and
Yes.
and fans, hopefully, and of our show and of Ultra 4 Racing. So we're gonna be down there having fun and doing a little bit of work and hopefully uploading episodes from the desert.
Yeah, so let's run through the schedule real quick, and we'll wrap this thing up. We'll put a bow on it.
Yes, sir.
So Hammertown opens Friday, January 31st.
We'll be there.
Oh, my gosh. This is crazy. Saturday, February 1st,
Yes.
is UTV qualifying.
Okay.
Okay, and then Sunday is the actual UTV King of the Hammers race.
Sunday.
Sunday.
So it's
Sunday.
not motos on.
No. Did I say motos?
Well,
They used to be.
Used to be. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That was
3 years ago.
You're so 2000 late.
2008. Yeah, I know.
So the UTV race is actually Sunday this year, and we've got a couple teams racing in that. And then Monday, here we go.
All right.
Everyman Challenge qualifying. And this is my favorite night of the week, the shootout.
The shootout, right.
Monday night shootout, and they changed it up last year and moved it from the back door and put it up this hill that's insane.
Uh-huh.
And people actually made it.
Really?
Yeah, I was amazed. And there was a lot of rollovers. It's a good show.
That's the hill just to the
It's to the left of
to
the
the
back
left
door.
of the back door, yeah.
You know, the quote-unquote undisclosed location, but we started following people around and found it right away. But anyways, get there early. Get there early Monday night. That's another pro tip if you want to get front row seats for that. And they're going to have a band after the shootout.
That's what I've been hearing.
I don't know where they're playing. I'm assuming Hammertown.
Main
I don't
stage,
know.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right below the big Jumbotron.
Tuesday is that's a fun day. That's just that's play day for us. We're going to be out on trails, but they're doing King of the Hammers qualifying.
Yep.
And then Wednesday is the Everyman Challenge main race.
4,800 class.
4,800 class going on. They're going to do awards after, and then there's another band after the race.
Different band?
I don't know. It says band 2.
Wow.
Band
Okay.
1, band 2. But, yeah, Everyman Challenge will be in the pits that day. I'll be in the pits. You're going to be running around getting some media stuff for us, right?
I'm going to be unconscious.
Okay, well, there you go. You and Lorenzo. And then Thursday, oh, here we go, trophy trucks.
Yes, sir.
Trophy trucks on Thursday, T1 race, and then Friday, the Nitto King of the Hammers main race.
The main event.
It is the main event, and cars are firing up early morning.
Oh, yeah.
And do wake up early. Do yourself a favor.
You don't have a choice.
If you are a fan, no, but if you are a fan, I mean, you could wake up and lay there in your sleeping quarters, but but do yourself a favor. Get your pot of coffee going, whatever you need to get going in the morning, and get out there early. And it is, I mean, for me, this is the coolest frickin' time, other than the shootout Monday night. But seeing all the cars fired up, in line, heading to the start-finish line, and, I mean, you can sit there and walk amongst all the cars, drivers.
Right.
Shannon Campbell's giving you fist pumps, thumbs up, Levi Shirley. I mean, all these guys, Eric Miller. I mean, just let's go through the list. Lauren Healy. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
So
Shearer,
you're just going through all these guys. Shear. I mean, it's
Gomez
just
brothers.
Oh, they're freaking hilarious. So you can go in there and you're walking right by their car, warming up for this race, and it is awesome. Just freaking awesome. So do yourself a favor, get there before they, while they're lining up for the race, and you watch them head out in line and start.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, if that doesn't fire you up, you are not a motorsports fan.
Nope.
End of story.
Yep. No, it's a fun time.
All right. And then Saturday is the mass exodus, usually.
Well, it's King of the Motos now.
But now they got King of the Motos going on, so that's cool. So if you do stick around, hang out for King of the Motos. And then, of course, they're going to have the awards for the trophy trucks, KOH, and King of the Motos. And then there's a band that night as well. So I'm playing it by ear. Usually I head out at Dark 100, like 4 a.m. Saturday morning.
Yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing.
But I may stick around because I really enjoy watching that King of the Motos event. It is a show to be seen. All these bikes going up some impossible hill climb just to start the race.
Yeah.
At least that's how it's been in the years past. And then So, anyways, there's the lineup right there. There's King of the Hammers. I mean, we covered a lot of ground. I'm sure we missed some things. Email us. Reach out on the gram, Wheeling Wine and Whiskey.
Yep.
We've got over 500 followers now.
Wow.
This is crazy.
34 episodes on 512 or so, I think.
I don't know, something like that.
Crazy. It's been a fun ride.
It has, and we're getting our swag going here. Hopefully, we'll have something for you down at the Hammers.
Ramping up.
We definitely got stickers right now. Hopefully, we'll have some shirts or be able to figure out something here.
Thing, yeah.
Dirtbag Johnny, Dirtbag Clothing's helping us out there.
So.
Email Chris at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com.
And Jason at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com.
Yep. And if you want to talk to Lorenzo.
Tough shit.
Yeah. He doesn't talk to us, so I don't know.
No, he's pissed. So.
He is. He's not starting out.
You're wondering why you haven't opened that goddamn shine.
I think so. So there you have it. Thank you so much. Looking forward to 2020.
Yes, sir.
2020. That just sounds funny.
2020 sounds funny. Hey, that's funny.
It is funny.
It rhymed.
And hope to see you. Of course, we're going to have a few more episodes here before KOH, but start preparing now because time is not on your side.
Yeah, look us up.
I am way behind.
We'll be there. We all are. All right. Anything else?
That's all I've got.
All right. I guess we're out.